You know that feeling, right? Your team is working so hard, everyone's putting in the hours, but you're just not moving the needle. It's super frustrating. But what if I told you the problem isn't a lack of effort? It's a lack of structure. So today, we're going to break down something called the H5 Business Framework. It's a system designed to take all that hard work and actually turn it into the results you've been chasing.
So let's dive right into the core problem. All that effort with nothing to show for it.
I mean, seriously, take a second and think about this for your own team. Are people really slacking off, or are they just running in a dozen different directions? More often than not, it's not about the effort. It's about the lack of a clear, shared structure. That's the real culprit.
And this is what that lack of structure really does. It creates uncertainty. And uncertainty is just a total performance killer. It makes people hesitate to make decisions. It stalls entire teams because nobody's quite sure what the real priority is. And you know what? It's the perfect hiding place for all kinds of wasted time and money.
Okay, so if unstructured effort is the problem, what's the solution? Well, you guessed it. It's a framework. Let's talk about H5.
So what is H5? Think of it as a complete playbook for getting things done. Its whole purpose is to get 5 key departments, we'll get to those in a second, all on the same page, using the exact same process to take those big, ambitious goals and turn them into results you can actually measure.
And this isn't just about another to-do list app. The promises here are pretty big. We're talking about clarity you can actually act on, not just talk about in meetings. It's about focusing on measurables that really, truly matter. It's about being deliberate in how you execute, which, surprise, surprise, actually builds a better culture. And maybe best of all, it creates this repeatable loop so you're always getting better.
All right, so that all sounds great, but how does it actually work? What's the secret sauce? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine that makes this whole thing run. Okay, first up, picture your business as a machine with 5 big gears. You've got growth, which is all about setting the vision, marketing, which brings people in the door, sales, which closes the deals, finance, which keeps the books balanced, and operations, which actually delivers the thing you sell. Now, for the business to move forward smoothly, what do all those gears need to do? They have to mesh together perfectly.
But even the best gears will grind to a halt without oil, right? And in this system, the oil is 3 things: mindset, leadership, and culture. You need that proactive, hopeful mindset. You need leadership that actually models what they preach. And you need a culture where your values are what people do every day. When you get that oil lubricating those gears, things just start to work.
And here's a really key number: 12. The whole framework is built on just 12 steps. And here's the critical part. Every single department follows the same 12 steps. It's not one playbook for marketing and a different one for sales. Nope. It's one single path that connects that big picture vision all the way down to what someone is doing on a Tuesday afternoon. This is how you get everyone marching in the same direction.
Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. How does this actually work day to day? We're going to walk through a super quick example of how you take a fuzzy, vague goal and turn it into a concrete plan. So, let's start with a goal that I bet sounds pretty familiar to a lot of you. The leadership team says, we want to increase profitable revenue next quarter. Okay, great. But that's not a plan, is it? It's a wish. What does it mean? Who's supposed to do what? It's just way too vague to be useful. So the very first thing you do in the H5 framework is define what perfect looks like. And bam, look at the difference. This is no longer a wish. It's a destination. We want revenue up 15%, and we need on-time delivery to be at 98% or better, and our customer satisfaction score needs to hit 50 or more. See, now we know exactly where we're going. Okay, so we have our destination. The next question is, how do we get there? Well, you break that big goal down into the 5 most important things you have to get right to make it happen. You can see them here. Suddenly, this massive goal is organized into manageable chunks, and you can start to see who owns what. And then we take each of those key topics and turn them into a classic SMART goal. You know, specific, measurable, all that good stuff. So for the sales process topic, the goal isn't just sell more. It's this: we will lift our close rate from 22% to 28% by the end of the quarter. Now the sales team has a crystal clear mission. And finally, the last step. We take that SMART goal and break it down into the actual things people need to do. Update the checklist, train on the new script, add that options page to the proposal. See, now every single person on that sales team knows exactly what their job is this week to help hit that 28% close rate. Vision to outcome. It's that simple. Okay, so now you've seen how it works in theory.
But I know what you're thinking. Let's talk about putting this into practice and tackle some of the biggest objections people usually have.
Ah, yes, the classic. We are just too busy for this. And I get it, I really do. Your calendar is a nightmare, your team is stretched thin, and the last thing you need is some new, complicated system to learn. It feels like just one more thing.
But let's flip that on its head. You're already spending the time. You're just spending it in painful meetings where nothing gets decided, on endless email chains trying to get clarity, and on redoing work because the goal wasn't clear in the first place. H5 doesn't add time. It just makes the time you're already spending actually count for something.
Okay, here's the other big one, the fear of bureaucracy. Is all this planning and structure going to slow us down? Are we going to lose our ability to move fast? And look, that's a totally fair question, especially if you pride yourself on being agile. But the truth is, it actually does the opposite. Think about what really slows you down. It's not planning. It's uncertainty. It's arguing about what to do next. It's redoing projects 3 times. That's the stuff that kills speed. This kind of structure gets rid of all that friction, so your team can actually move faster and with way more confidence.
And look, we're not talking about some massive 6-month change management project here. You can get real, tangible wins in just 10 days. Follow this little roadmap, and in just a couple of weeks, you can go from a vague idea to having your first set of goals, action steps, and a weekly meeting to keep it all on track. You build momentum fast.
When you boil it all down, the entire philosophy behind this framework is right here. Be deliberate about your success. Your success shouldn't be an accident. It shouldn't depend on 1 or 2 heroes pulling all-nighters. It should be the natural result of a planned, structured, and intentional process.
So that's the big question I want to leave you with. Just think about all the talent, all the energy, all the hard work that's already happening in your organization. Now, imagine if you could channel all of that through a clear, deliberate structure that removes all that frustrating uncertainty. What could your team really, truly achieve?